Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you had a beautiful full blood moon eclipse in Pisces and happy Friday. So as I was meditating on today's reading, I actually saw a really beautiful door. So it was all gold, and then I also saw somebody putting a key into a lock and turning it and opening this door. So you guys may be moving into a period where you may be physically moving, or you are opening up a studio, something for your creative space, or this may just be an analogy for moving into a new chapter, opening up a new door of new opportunities for you because you have closed out something during eclipse season. So we're going to get a little bit deeper and see what is going on in the undercurrents of this energy. So right now we have I am whole, wholeness. So, and I love that this is a sun and a moon here. So I think that you guys have been actively working on merging the light and the shadow aspects of the self. And I think that you have now utilized that shadow aspect to wield your power. And I feel like it's also helped open you up to new perspective and new ways of thinking. And we also have the solar eclipse in Virgo coming up in about 2 weeks. And this period is really about a culmination, and it's also about balance, because Pisces and Virgo are opposites. They are on opposite sides of the zodiac, but they are sisters and they learn so much from one another. My best friend's a Virgo. I am also Virgo rising. So I have a lot of that dualistic energy in my chart. And it's a really powerful place to be when Virgo can also intermingle with the Piscean energy, because it can help pull down a lot of those dreams, a lot of those spiritual aspects into the 3D. And I think a lot of you are pulling this into the whole. This is how you're feeling whole. You're acting on your dreams and on your visions, and I love that. And then we have Weaver of the Web of Life, cooperation. Love this. So you may be flowing more with the intuitive insights that you're getting, but I also feel the webs are also about protection, and I also see it as a network. So a network of people that you are cultivating, that you are collecting, that you are able to kind of lean on for more expansive growth. Also about networking. I love that. So let's get a little bit deeper here. Spirit, what else does the collective need to know? Okay, so I'm going to take 2. So we have the Devil, and we have the Mother. Okay, all right. So some of you are looking at, I'm getting more so that this is about some traits that are keeping you caged, that are keeping you in more of a limited mindset. But I also see the Devil as very much Capricornian energy. So this is about your commitments, your diligence, and Saturn. So Capricorn and Saturn are the Devil card. So this is also about where you're putting your time, where you're putting your energy. And Virgo also rules routines and daily structures. So I think that you guys are really looking at what habits have been a little bit more detrimental and what are not serving you at this time. So that's coming to the forefront. And then we have the Mother. So we have a lot of dualistic energies here. So I see this card, and it's really interesting because if you look at the top here, she has the snake, she has the coffee, she has the moon, but as you go down, there's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of things that are needing to be cleaned up. And so you guys may be overloaded with responsibilities, a lot of things that are just kind of piling up. And I think that you're looking at those things that are like, okay, what can I clear up? What can I clean up to be able to hold more energy, more enlightenment, more love for myself and for the people who I am responsible for? So there's a lot of nurturing energy here that is asking to be tapped into a little bit more. So let's dive a little bit deeper and see what's going on, Spirit. What is happening here? Okay. Spirit. All right. So right off the bat, we have the Tower crossed by the Three of Needles. So there's a deconstruction energy here. Okay. All right. So Two of Needles. Okay. Can I get one for the projection ahead? Okay. Page. And then can I get one for the outcome, please? One for the outcome. All right. And then we have the Ace of Presents at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I really feel right off the bat that this reading is all about overcoming challenges, overcoming old ways that you have been doing things and really helping to upgrade, because we have the Tower and the Three of Needles here. So this is the Three of Needles is all about, this is the Three of Swords in the traditional tarot deck. So this is all about looking at those spaces in the heart that have been left untouched, or they have just been lingering. I'm getting a little bit of resentment in this card, but I love that the Tower is here because this is really about stirring up this energy. This is really pushing it up to the surface to be able to be healed. And by looking at this card, you can see that there's just been one too many times where something has happened that it's almost like a scar. There's like a scar in the heart. But I do see that you guys are looking at overcoming challenges and looking for new ways in which you are healing the emotional space, and that also comes out in the physical too. We have the Six of Potions here. So this can be with somebody who you genuinely have a lot of love with. This could be a partner, a friend, and I see that there has been some conflict surrounding whatever it is that this is pertaining to. And I really feel like there's a bout of communication that is needing to be had. There's some sort of conversation, because I do see here that the Page of Needles is in the hopes and fears. Okay, so some of you may be avoiding some conversation because of how that jumped out, and that may be a fear that you're having, but this conversation will actually help heal aspects of this dynamic, of this situation. And in the outcome, we have the Lovers here. So I feel like you guys are genuinely wanting a balanced and healthy family dynamic, home, whatever it is, that is going to help you move out of this more like lack energy. Four of Presents can be preserving your resources, but it can also put you in, we can't spend this because we don't have the funds, or, you know, it will put us back in a hole. So there's some reframing around some sort of material aspect of your life. And if we're in an energy of abundance, and we are in an energy of trusting the universe that this money, these resources will come back to us, they will. So I think that there's really a difference in how you're working, a difference in how you are putting your energy out into the world, because in your environment, you have the Two of Needles. So this is the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot deck. And she's just so diligently working on it. If you revert back to the movie, she's working on a Santa outfit for Jack. But the whole entire time, she is like, I don't think this is a good idea. this is going to end in ruin and destruction, but yet she loves this person. So she's continuing to make this Santa Claus outfit because he has a vision and he is not going to back down from it. But the whole time she is very, very resistant to it. So what are you resisting in your life? What is coming up where you feel like things are not moving or not fluid? There seems to be a little bit of a block I'm getting a lot of, in the root and the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. So what's going on in the root of your energy? And oftentimes when you do take on that mother role, you have a lot of responsibilities. This is a phase of life where it's inevitable you are going to be taking care of the home, the finances, the kids. Like, there's just a lot of things to juggle. But where can you release expectations, and where can you start to incorporate a little bit more of that fun and lighthearted energy? Because I feel like by being in this overly working period, it's really just kind of pulling you down. It is getting you out of this abundant stage, and we want to be more in a flow state. So let's get some clarification on this Five of Needles, shall we? I feel like this is a perspective. This is a lot of what's going on in the ways that are being communicated, and what you want out of your home life, out of your stability. Okay, yep. So Five of Needles, clarifying the Five of Needles, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so, and then we have the Three of Pentacles here. Okay, so I do see that there is a mutual understanding of harmony and respect that is wanted in the household, in the dynamic. So this is also about working with others in a balanced and just way. So with the Five of Needles, this is what lies before you in the future. Clarifying it is the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so I feel like this is really about having a collaborative conversation without throwing a lot of you did this and I did this. Dropping the accusations is really going to help you to move forward in this dynamic. So focusing on the areas that you both are wanting to see grow. So a growing bank account. The Ten of Pentacles also represents investments, and they didn't get here overnight. So this is very much for like the long haul. What are you guys doing that is really asking you to take a screenshot? And really, Virgo is great about analyzing and structuring, and it's very detail oriented. So moving into this next portion, it's really about looking at your habits and your spending, your mindset on how you're going to move forward into a more cohesive chapter. And the Knight of Wands, this is a really great energy of expanding forward and moving forward, but we need to ground it. And I think by looking at the structure, looking at the hows, the pentacles, the 3D, how are we going to really help maneuver this energy forward? We have to look through the disillusion. We have to look through a lot of the emotional confusion, a lot of the emotional fog. This is very Neptunian energy. And I feel like there's just a lot of options and a lot of routes that you can go, but it's almost like analysis paralysis, where there's so much information, or there's just so much clouded judgment that you don't make a decision, and that causes more stress and anxiety. But really, by working with one another, you're going to have a more cohesive experience. So I'm gonna get a little bit more here and see what is going on. Spirit, what else is happening in this dynamic? And this can also be about fueling more into your body, more into your health, your wellness, and moving forward from that. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. We have Forest, muddled, unclear thinking, which is the 7 of Cups. And then we have Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Bird flying, news is on the way. Okay. So I feel like one of you has a lot more of an expectation for how you want your life to go, how you want to pour into this next chapter. And I think there's a little bit of comfort in what it is that you both have been doing, and that's causing the scale to be a little unbalanced. So by really moving through this forest, moving through the thick of things, having this clear, honest conversation about your goals and where you want to be, I think that's going to really help to clear up a lot of this muddled, a lot of this 7 of Cups energy. And really seeing things through a lens of enlightenment is going to help you problem solve and to really look, if you're in a dynamic, if you are in a household with a partner, it's going to help you to see both sides of the situation. And there's really emphasis on problem solving and moving forward. So we have the 8 of Presents underneath the Ace of Presents. So I think by implementing new structures and new ways of doing things, you're going to get more of a bag. You're going to get more of a return on your investment if you stay diligent, if you stay focused and determined to really think about your present, but also your future. Think about where things have been working and what hasn't, because this is going to be, if you're not already feeling it, it's going to feel very burdensome and uneven. And to be able to be in a flowing energy, we also have to look at what we can release. So I'm going to get some energies on that. Spirit, what does the collective need to release at this time in order to move forward? Okay. Yep. Okay. 2 of Potions. I am getting releasing the need to be right, because we have the Justice, the 2 of Potions, 5 of Presents, and the 10 of Presents. Okay, so there's a lot of dualistic energies here, and then we have the 6 of Presents. Okay, this feels very 3D. And the 2 of Potions is the 2 of Cups. So I'm feeling like this is with a partnership, with a dynamic. So one of you may have a specific way that you want to go about doing something, and the other has a different way. So where can you meet in the middle? Where can you compromise? Where can you collaborate? Which is where we go back to this weaver of web of life, cooperation. Where can you collaborate together, bring your resources and knowledge together to be able to obtain this 10 of Presents, this 10 of Pentacles, to be able to be in a much more stable foundation period that helps you feel more balanced, where you're not having to grind in every single way, every single day to bring forward some of this justice. So releasing only doing things one way. Where can you think outside the box? Where can you take on new energies to help bring more clarity into this dynamic? So I'm gonna get some goddess cards here. Spirit, what advice is here for the collective? What advice is here for the collective? Where can you feel whole? Mother Earth, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. Okay, so I'm also seeing this card as getting back into nature, feeling more balanced. I think there's been a lot of energy surrounding more of the head space and the 3D financial space. Now they're really like, okay, so where can we sink deeper? What can we do to help move you out into a more abundant, fulfilling chapter? So we have guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So yeah, so there may be children involved in this. I'm really feeling that this is a family. This is a family dynamic. And then we have past life. The situation involves your past life memories. Yeah. So I'm really feeling like this whole lesson of this past chapter is moving out from lack, moving from a scarcity mindset into an abundant mindset. And this takes patience, this takes practice, because if you were in a household where things were not balanced, where family stressed about money, where family was like, I don't know how we're going to make ends meet, and that was portrayed to children, that is going to be absorbed by children. And if you're one of those, which that was definitely me and my family, it has taken years to unprogram that. And it has taken a lot of diligence on my part to say, okay, that is a narrative that I don't want to live in. That is a narrative that has been in the past, that past life energy, that possibly I lived a past life situation where I had to, scrounge, where I had to really put myself in situations where I had to make ends meet. But I think that there are ways now where you can get out of that. So we have speak up, we have allow, and we have step back. Okay. And we have presence too. All right. So speaking up, this is that clarity, that communication. This is very heartfelt communication. This is not accusations. Speaking up for what you want, your vision, your goals, and being open to new ways of doing things. Just because you've done something one way doesn't mean that it is going to continue to be successful forever. And this is all about finding new resources, new ways to reach out and ask for help. And then we have step back. You're being asked to step back from your life in order to gain perspective. Yeah. And if there's anywhere that you are needing assistance, speaking up, talking to a counselor or a coach can also help. So yeah, really releasing the old and allowing the new door to open to unlock new chapters. So I hope this helped, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday and the rest of a beautiful September. But I will see you next week. Blessed be. Bye.